In today's video, we're going to be upgrading the RAM, the memory, and an Asus VivoBook 15. The model number is F1512JA. Now, the first thing you want to do is to make sure you get compatible memory. And how to do that is you can go to your web browser on the laptop or the computer that you want to upgrade, and you go to crucial.com, and I will also put a link of that in the video description box. You're going to need a set of precision screwdrivers to work on the laptop, and you're also going to need a plastic pry device, because once you get the screws out, you're going to need to pry the bottom of the laptop off. On this particular laptop, there are 10 screws holding in the bottom of the laptop. As you can see here, I'm taking out the screws. I start with the bottom first. Now, you're going to want to separate each of these screws that you take out, because the bottom 4 are a different length than the other screws in the laptop. You do not want to get the screws mixed up, because if you do, then it's possible that you could want to put a longer screw where a shorter screw goes, and that would protrude through the top of the case, or it could go through the motherboard and mess up your whole laptop. So simply just keep in mind where each screw goes. You can even put them in the order to where you're setting the screws, and that way you won't get them confused. See, I will show you here in my hand. You can see the different lengths of the screws that are coming out of the laptop, so you don't want to get them mixed up. Next, I bought a Samsung 16 gigabyte DDR4 3200 megahertz memory for this computer. That is a good quality of memory that I'm used to. I could have got a generic one, but I chose to go with name brand and known memory that is reliable. And that is what I have here. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your plastic pry tool. Here I have a plastic pick, and you hold the laptop up by where the hinges are, and that is the most easiest place I found on this particular laptop to get access to push in and up on the bottom of the plastic casing. And then you simply, once that's popped up, you pull it back and up a little bit, and then you can pull the case up and off of the laptop itself, just like this. And then you will see the inside of your laptop. Once you're inside of the laptop, you will see the exhaust fan up here, and you'll want to spray it out with compressed air. This is your hard drive over there, and this right here is your copper heat pipe, and it transfers the heat out of the laptop and out the back, so it keeps your processor cool. This is your battery, and the reason why we're inside of here, I'm going to show you, is the memory, or some people call it RAM. And I bought a 16 gigabyte stick, and that is going to be the maximum that this computer can hold. It has 4 gigabytes of RAM soldered on, which leaves this one slot to add memory. It's called a DIMM slot, and it has a 4 gigabyte stick in, and it has 4 on board, so that would be a total of 8. I'm going to take that 4 GB stick that is not soldered on, and I am going to replace it and upgrade it with this 16 GB stick, which will give me a total of 20 GB of RAM, and that will max out the laptop. Now, the way you put this in, you will see that it has a notch cut out, and that notch will only fit in one way. You push it snugly down into the DIMM slot where all the pins connect, and then you just simply push down until you hear it snap into place. And then once it snaps into place, you're done. You can go ahead and start putting the cover, the bottom cover, back on the laptop, and then you just gently push down on all areas of the laptop on the bottom, and you can hear it snap back into place. And again, guys, you don't want to do this too hard. Don't be rough with it. It just kind of gently snaps into place, and then you're ready to put the screws back in. And remember, you should have put the screws in the order that they came out. That way you're not confused. In this particular laptop, the smaller screws go on the bottom row of the laptop, and you don't want to forget that, because if you put a wrong size screw into the wrong screw hole, you could totally mess up your laptop, and you don't want that to happen. I'm just going to continue putting the rest of the screws back in the laptop. Also, remember that the compressed air that you used to clean the fan once you were in there will definitely provide cooler temperatures for your laptop, and you should do that depending on your environment that you have the laptop in, about once every 6 months at least, and to keep your laptop in a well ventilated area, because you do not want to let it overheat. It needs to pull the heat out of the back. Once the screws are in and tightened, then we are going to turn on the laptop, and we're going to boot into Windows and go into System and look to make sure that the memory is reading correctly.